Raw started with Seth Franklin Rollins, the new World Heavyweight Champion #3, coming to the ring through the people. And I'm thinking, okay, what must Plumber Moxley think sitting there watching this? Roman Reigns, his old stablemate, is the biggest star in wrestling.
I wish I had a pack of Twinkies.
Besides that, Roman Reigns is the biggest star in
Doritos
wrestling.
besides that.
Doritos too, okay. Biggest star in wrestling. Seth Franklin Rollins doing his enter through the crowd gimmick. Even though it's the 3rd world title, he's still a world champion in the biggest company. And there's the plumber cutting his head on indie shows and playing tough guy on cable. He's got to be
basic cable.
And basic cable. You got that going for you.
Yeah.
So it's badass. With the singing and the "you deserve it" chant, so he deserves the #3 world title in the company. And the slow-paced promo, it was about 10 minutes into the show, and AJ came out. And they go, okay, business, as they say, is about to pick up. And it turns out AJ came out to say congratulations to him, and they shook hands. So I'm thinking, well, this is the most non-confrontational opening Raw segment I've ever seen. But then here comes the Judgment Day, because now we're 15 minutes in to this segment. And they came out, and again, they have them come out and say, we run Raw, and pretty much every week, and each one of them gets a chance to say something, and we like everybody in the group. Even Finn grows on us. Priest is doing great. But basically, it's a challenge for a match later on. We couldn't have seen that coming on Monday Night Raw. And it was 20 minutes in by the time that it was over. And then I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. There's the matter of the draft and that AJ's not supposed to be here.
That's what I was thinking.
But then they come back and Adam Pearce is on the phone saying, okay, yes, sir, yes, sir. And he okays the tag match for later, even though AJ's on SmackDown, he can be on Raw. And by yes, sir, one would think, because we've also heard reported it was a Vince McMahon call. So Vince called him and said, nah, put AJ on the show, and blew up their draft in 2 weeks. Or has it been 3 now?
I think it's been definitely more than 2, maybe a month.
No, it's been 3 weeks, because remember the new rosters took effect on May the 8th.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Good point.
So, all right.
You know, it's like I want to give Rollins a chance, and I can't because I hate him. And I don't hate him as a human being. I hate whatever the made-up character is that has no real definable traits. Like, he calls himself a visionary, and I'm like, what's the vision? What is the vision? I don't understand. In what way are you a visionary? So I don't dig Rollins, but I try to think like, okay, if I was a kid.
If he was a visionary, then he ought to beat everybody by seeing what kind of finishing move they're going to do ahead of time and moving out of the way of it.
And I watch this and I think, okay, well, I've seen this guy for a long time now. And I saw what he used to be. I saw what he was before WWE, in developmental, after developmental. And then when all else failed, he became this. So it's hard for me to give this a chance because it's ridiculous. It's a kid at home acting like what a wrestler would be if he could be a wrestler. And I don't like that. But I try to think, what do the fans who are just discovering it think? Do they think, because they've never seen Tyler Black or other versions of Seth Rollins, do they think, yeah, this wild and crazy guy is really cool? Like, I try to look at it from the other perspective, but to me, it's just so manufactured and lame.
That's what if you're looking for wild and crazy, old Juice Robinson may fit wild and crazy. This is kind of over the top and silly. And I'm a fan. He can still go in the ring. It's not like he's trying to do this to cover up that he's lost something or whatever. And I've always liked his work. And if he can say all these things, he could talk as a serious human being.
And when he gets serious in any of these things, whether it's the sit-down interview or even when he stuck his hand out to shake AJ's hand, I like that. I believe in that. But otherwise, it just becomes a guy who always had the in-ring, always had the potential. Outside of the Shield, to me, seemed to have a difficult time to really establish his personality so that people would invest in it. So then he just manufactured a completely fake personality to go out there and do this stuff.
He's a good-looking guy. He could just stand there and be handsome rather than silly. I don't know.
The Judgment Day stuff, because this is not the first week where we've seen a confrontation of sorts with the Judgment Day in like the opening segment, or I think, yeah, typically it's the opening segment.
Yeah.
I enjoy them. And, you know, it doesn't sound like they're going away anytime soon. And they always know they can go to Dominic whenever they just want a big reaction. Because when they were saying, you know, I may win the world title, or maybe this guy will win the world title. Oh, maybe Dum Dum. And the place just, the idea, the audacity of saying this guy's going to win the world title.
The gall of you. And that, again, you know, love the Judgment Day, but this is a formula. And I know they're going to defend it by saying, well, we're structuring the story elements to have a flowing through the show and start it, and they'll know what the main event is. But just change up the way shit happens.